Key and Kier, we trying something new.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, this is something new. We're calling it 5-minute ministry. Thus the 8 ball or the 5 ball that we're going to roll back and forth one to another. We're going to take 5 minutes to tackle a topic that. Good catch.
Good catch.
Tackle a topic that is relevant for not just these times but all times.
Right.
And so one of the first themes came up is purpose.
Purpose.
And it want to come from Jeremiah 29:11 and 12. Now, the thing of it is, Jeremiah 29:11 and 12 is so popular. People love to call upon it. Actually, it's verse 11. It says, "For I know the thoughts that I have towards you, that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not for evil, to give you an expected end." But bro, to get to that expected end, we tend to leave that part out. We love to take things out of context. The Hebrew people have gone into captivity under Babylonian rule, and there's some rough things that had to happen in order to get to this expected end. And so, I'm gonna go ahead and cede it to you a couple seconds early. I'm gonna go ahead and cede it to you, let you take over.
No, and you're good. And the thing is that if we kept it in context, I believe it would help us to understand purpose, not from a self-centered, selfish viewpoint, but it would help us to see purpose from God's viewpoint.
Yeah.
My father said something once, and he and I had a great conversation. He said, would someone be willing to accept that they're just cannon fodder?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this, but I was like, whoa. He said, could someone just accept that's the role that you play? You're not the cannonball. You're the cannon fodder that's used to pack the ball,
that's
to
tough.
get it where it goes, because that's your purpose, right? And to know that God and his purposes, can we accept the best of it and the worst of it as being a part of God's purpose?
That's tough. It reminds me of this song that I was just listening to recently, and I forget the title, but it's Bizzle. He was saying, "What if the things that you desire never happen? What if you never get on? What if your thing never pops off? What if you never get rich? What if? But would you still serve? Would you still have the same fervor in your purpose if you never got the things that you thought would come with your purpose being walked in?" And so that's a powerful concept, because it really does check you and be like, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for God, right? And so the thing that happens in this captivity is God tells them, like, look, you're going to be in captivity. He basically tells them for 70 years. But what you're going to do, though, is you're going to build your houses. He said you're going to live in your city. You're going to live in your city in peace.
Yep.
You're going to have children. Like, go about your lives. Because the greater purpose that they can't see, even in that captivity, is that God is establishing his lineage to bring about Christ.
Right.
And it's like, if you don't continue to make these children, you will mess up my plan. Right. Now we really got a problem.
Right. And so, and that's it, because I was just talking to someone about this, Reggie, and I was saying, we want to see God utilizing time only from our limited perspective. And the fact that time first is actually spiritual before it's natural. God can literally slow time down to the point where time doesn't even move. He can speed time up, because why? One day is as 1,000 years, 1,000 years as one day. And so when we look at it, we'll say, well, God, am I fulfilling my purpose if X, Y, Z doesn't happen by the time I'm 30? But Moses wasn't released until he was 40 to go wander for 40 before he was at 80 when God actually used him. And he had another 40 years of going through it with the children of Israel before God actually buried him.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
Abraham had to wait years before the promise of his son. And even after he got the promise, it wasn't the next day that he had booty and she was pregnant. Right?
Right.
So when we're looking at purpose, can we trust God at his vantage point versus our own limited, selfish vantage point?
Really tough there. You went King the Conqueror on us there. Like, you can slow down time. You can do whatever you want. You got the time ring, the time stone, right? But yeah, and so this is super relevant, I think, even now, because many of us don't see the purpose of. Many of us feel like we're lost in the sauce because of the election. And every 4 years we go through this cycle, and who you voted for might not be the person who gets in office. And you may start to think that the world is coming to an end. But if the world is coming to an end, are you just supposed to sit around and just wait for it to happen? Or are you supposed to keep plowing? Are you supposed to keep at what it is that you've been called to do? Keep building, keep drawing, keep advancing the kingdom of God despite whoever's in office, because no matter who's in the office, God is still on the throne.
Yes.
Right? We are not supposed to be, what is that called? This person who just is escapist. Like I'm just gonna wait for the Lord to return. Like,
that's
nah,
not our purpose.
That's not fulfilling anything but taking up space.
That's it.
And time and breath.
Right.
And we're supposed to be filling all things as Christ has filled all things. We're supposed to fill all things in the earth with the time of God, with the purpose of God, with the breath of God, and with his kingdom.
That's right.